Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. So today's the day I got my results. For those of you that are new here, I had been struggling with symptoms of perimenopause and finding a provider that would help me find a solution to the night sweats, the brain fog, the hot flashes. The list just goes on and on and on. And so today's the day I got my blood work back. I spoke to my new healthcare provider, and I'm going to go through every single thing that I am now taking and how I feel about it. And I have some other fun things to share with you. So let's dive right in. I've already started some of this new medication, not all of it, because I'm slowly working into it, but I've already started almost all of it, and I'm ready to share some feedback on it. So a few weeks ago, I went to my new healthcare provider's office to talk about I did a complete metabolic panel. I had to have some blood work done a week prior to the visit, and then here are all my results, and we went through line by line every single result on my blood work and talked about how we could improve on it. So what I didn't understand initially, and I think what most people don't understand, is that there is a range that's considered normal on all of these blood works, right? Which I'd gotten blood work done. I get blood work done every year at my primary care physician's office. And the only time he's ever raised a flag about any of my blood work was a few years ago regarding my ferrous iron. My ferritin levels were low. And he said to me, just take an over-the-counter iron supplement. Okay, which I did try, and it gave me horrible constipation. Now, if any of you out there are also on GLP-1 medications, you know that constipation is your enemy when you're on a GLP-1, right? So I did not last long on the iron supplement. I stopped taking it, and I did go back to my doctor. He did try to give me a liquid iron prescription, but that tasted horrible and also gave me stomach irritation, so I stopped taking that one as well. What he missed with me is telling me why it was so detrimental that I get iron. And that's kind of one of the first things that my new care team went over with me, because they were concerned. Because the normal range is between 16 and 232. Mine was a 7. So it was not even near, it was nowhere in the normal range, okay? So they were very concerned. And what she said to me was, I would recommend that you go to the ER and get a blood transfusion today. Like, that's how serious she said it was. And then she sat and explained to me what your ferritin levels mean and what that iron, that stored iron, it's not like being anemic where it's your regular iron that you're trying to supplement, it's your stored iron. And it really has a lot to do with your heart, how your heart gets the oxygen and your brain gets the oxygen. And so that makes a lot of sense, because I had been feeling very weak, dizzy, brain fog, and every time I got on a treadmill, I would start to get heart palpitations just from walking. So she said, this is very serious. And I said, well, you know, it's almost Christmas, you know, I'm not going to the ER. I'm just seeing dollar signs in my brain, like going to the emergency room visit the week before Christmas doesn't sound like something that I'm financially ready to do today. So she said, okay, well, let me refer you to an oncology office. And I'm like, oncology, like a cancer doctor? And she said, yes, because they also handle infusions. So an infusion is slightly different than a transfusion, where in a transfusion, you're having someone else's blood put into you. I was not up for that. An infusion is where they slowly, just like a drip, basically in through an IV. So that I was okay with. So I did go ahead and schedule that. It's coming up in another week and a half. I go for my first set of 5 iron infusions. It's going to take 5 iron infusions every other day for 5 days to get me back where I need to be. So let's just say I was very low and very surprised at the severity of my blood work and how serious some of these things actually were. And it wasn't just about like my estrogen and progesterone being low. This was like actually some scary numbers that I got back. Also, what I learned through all of this blood work is that there's that normal range, which sends a red flag to your doctor, whoever's reading this, that, hey, this is outside the range of what's considered normal. So that range of normal is for men and women, so it's not specific to women. And really, what the doctors explained to me is that they don't just want me in this normal range, this window, they really want to optimize. So they really want me to be higher even than what's considered normal on some of these blood tests, which I thought was very interesting. So the first item that she wanted to see me improve on and actually optimize was my thyroid. My thyroid was within the normal window, but towards the low end. So that she did go ahead and prescribe me this NP thyroid 30 milligrams tablet, which it went through my insurance and I picked it up at the pharmacy. It was a couple bucks. She wanted me to start taking this every morning before I even get out of bed and wait 30 minutes before I eat anything. So this sits next to my nightstand. I take one of these in the morning with a glass of water and then wait 30 minutes, and then I kind of start my normal morning routine. I haven't noticed a ton more energy, but that's because my ferritin is still very, very low. So hopefully once I get that resolved, I'll start seeing some improvement in stamina, energy, things like that, that the thyroid medication is supposed to help with. The next thing that she wanted me to optimize was my estrogen levels. My estrogen level was, at the time I took the blood test, within the normal range. However, she did say that those levels fluctuate throughout the month. And she did want me to go ahead and optimize that level by starting the estradiol patch once a week. So every Friday, which today's Friday, I put on one of these little patches on my abdomen, or you could put it on like right above your butt. And let's do it together. So it's just this clear little patch, and you just open it up. And it's a whole new world. And I'll show you here. You're just gonna pop it right on your hip, right about here. And it's clear, so you really don't see it. And just kind of press it on and rub it in, and boom, go about your day. The third medication that my healthcare team prescribed me was progesterone, 100 milligram capsule. I take one every night. And let me just tell you, I sleep like a baby now. I used to wake up every night about 2 or 3 a.m. and have to go to the bathroom, and then I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep. It was horrible. And my husband has to wake up at 4 a.m. for his job, so I would just be laying there when his alarm went off at 4, and I would just say to myself, well, let's just go downstairs and drink coffee and start your day, because you're not going to fall back asleep. So it's I never woke up feeling rested. It was just kind of like horrible. Also, I would wake up feeling hot, not drenched in sweat like some women talk about, just like, oh, too hot, get these covers off of me type of feeling. So this progesterone has really helped me. I sleep like a baby. I don't even wake up to use the bathroom some nights. It's amazing. When my alarm clock goes off at 5:30, I'm up. I feel rested and ready to start my day. So this has been a game changer for me, and worth the price of that visit completely. Which, by the way, this healthcare provider, she's a hormone specialist, was not covered by insurance. So I had to pay out of pocket $600 for this visit. $600. But let me tell you, I think it was 100% worth it because of all of the information that I got. They did even send me home with some of these supplements I'm going to show you here. They just gave them to me with this visit. So some of the medications were included in that $600, but it was mostly just all of the information and going over line by line my blood work and helping me understand that I think was really, I mean, it's worth the money for me. I did get lucky. I was referred to this women's health doctor by a friend of mine who had been going through horrible menopause symptoms and was like, girl, she's going to change your life. It's expensive. It's not covered by insurance. They warned me. Okay, so the next thing I started on is this Ferrocell highly bioavailable iron chelate, it's called. It's a dietary supplement, 120 vegetarian capsules. So this is the one they sent me home with. They had it right there in their office and they said it does not upset your stomach, and they were right. I've had no constipation. I've had no stomach upset with this one. So I will link this. I'm going to link everything down below. Anything that's available to link shall be linked below. Never fear. And I take this one with my breakfast and my dinner, so twice a day for these. The next thing I started taking is this A, D, and K Immunity Cardiovascular. It's by Biote. This is vitamin A, 1,500 milligrams, vitamin D, 250 milligrams, and vitamin K2, 250 milligrams. So it's all together, all in one. And I take this every other day. The next thing I started taking supplement-wise is magnesium glycinate. I take 2 of these with my progesterone before bed, so I keep these in my bathroom. It's part of my nighttime routine now. Just pop 2 of these babies, and they are 200 milligrams. The next supplement I started taking is vitamin B12. This one is 5,000 milligrams, and I take this every other day as well. So I mix it up. If I'm taking my vitamin A, D, K supplement one day, I'll take this one the next day. That way I'm not taking like 10 pills one day and 4 pills the next. That way I can just kind of take an even amount of pills throughout the week. And the next thing that they recommended I started taking, which I just got these from Trader Joe's, is a vitamin C. So this is 1,000 milligram dietary supplement. And I take this in the morning with my ferritin, because taking calcium with your iron helps your body just with the absorption of it. So I do take 1 of these per day. I know this sounds like a lot, and it is. Let me tell you, as someone who went from taking 0 medications, I mean just my GLP-1, to someone who now needs a pill case to remind them of all their medications. I found this really cool pill case online. It's from a brand called Dosi. I will link these down below. I love this pill case. I think it is very cute, stylish. I love that it has Sunday through Saturday, and it's written inside there. I don't know if you could see, but it tells you the date, what day of the week it is. My last pill case I just had from the vitamins shop did not tell me what day it was on here, and so I would still get kind of like, wait, what day? What day am I supposed to be on? So this actually says the days of the week down inside there, which I like. And I also like that it has a nice big opening for the pills, so you can see it's almost time for me to refill mine. But there are a lot it's a big opening because I do have a lot of supplements now that I take daily. So love this little case. They even have smaller ones for like if you're going to keep 1 in your purse and 1 at home. I just bring this with me. It's always in my purse, so I take it everywhere I go. But it's not heavy, so it's not a big deal. But I got this on a Black Friday sale, but I will link it down below. And if there's any promo codes, I will link that down below also. So the only medication that they prescribed me that I have yet to take, because I've been taking 1 HRT and then I'll wait a few days or a week to see if I have any side effects, and I'm journaling down any side effects that I have, just so we can see if I do have any bad side effects. I can tell which thing it was that I started, so that we're not starting everything at once and then I don't know what gave me this bad side effect, right? So the only one I haven't started yet is this Vagifem which is an internal cream that you put vaginally. So this is estrogen that you insert a tablet vaginally twice per week. This one I have not started yet, so probably next week I will start this and I will report back what I think about this. All of this to say that I got my blood work back, and even though some of the things were still within the normal range, this healthcare provider helped me understand that that is not optimal for me as a woman reading these test results, and really the ranges I want to be in are actually, you know, a little higher skewed than what the normal range for a man would be. Okay, so we're kind of making that large bullseye and we're kind of narrowing it down a little bit so that my targets are going to be more specialized for me as a woman, for my height, weight, age, etc. And so it gives me something to aim for. I am excited to get my next blood work back so I can see how I've improved and where I'm at now. And so I will let you guys know at my next follow-up appointment how that went, also how my infusions went. And if I'm feeling any better, I'm excited to see if it really helps me feel better. I would love that. Also, I wanted to mention I picked up the new Menopause. This is by Dr. Mary Claire Haver. I saw her on the Mel Robbins show, her podcast, and this was a really super easy read. I picked this up at the library. I read through it in one day. I just skimmed through it a lot. It gets deep dive into like the medical side of menopause, and so some of that stuff I just skimmed through because wasn't too interested in that. I thought this was a great resource, not just for finding out if your symptoms might be related to menopause, because a lot of times you don't know if what you're feeling might be related to it, might not, because there's not a lot of information out there. So it goes through every single symptom that could be part of it. It also talks about finding a healthcare provider, steps to finding the right healthcare provider for you, because I went through being turned away from my gynecologist. I went to my gynecologist that I've been seeing for over 20 years. A year ago, this past February, so almost a year now, and with all my symptoms, and was told, you're too young to talk about menopause. We're not even going to talk about HRT with you. So that kind of lit the fire under me to get my own answers. My husband will tell you I do not like to be told no. I'm not a woman that likes to be told no. So I went through my own route and I got my answers, and I'm so glad that I did. And I would encourage you to get information, you know, go out there. There's so much more information now than ever was before, but definitely pick up this book and watch some YouTube videos. But if you're having a hard time finding a healthcare provider in your area, I would definitely do some Googling and just maybe ask some friends. That's how I found out, as a friend of a friend went to go see, and you just never know. So I hope some of this information helps one of you girls out there. If you liked this video or any comments, please leave them down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or if you found it informational. Thanks, I'll see you in the next one.